Good morning, everybody. I wanted to touch base with you. It's Sunday morning. I just got done doing my high intensity interval training, and I'm sitting here in the car trying to warm up, and I just wanted to share a quick message with you. We're about 1 week away from starting our new 66-day quest. I'm really excited about it. But there are a few of you out there who need, I think, to have a little bit of a boost and get a little bit of motivation going. And I want to inspire you right now. I want to share a story with you. It's a story about my mother. And probably, I would say about half of you out there who are listening to this know who my mom is. And my mother, hands down, is the toughest person that I've ever known. She's from Thailand, and she met my dad during the Vietnam conflict. But a lot of people don't know that my mother was married before she met my father. My mother, when she was young, she was very beautiful, but she was very poor. And so the first person that came along, she decided that she would get married because she wanted to have a comfortable life. And she wanted to start a family. And everything was okay in the beginning. But soon her husband started beating her. He verbally abused her and physically abused her. And my mother tells me a story about when she was 9 months pregnant with my sister. And one night she got into a terrible argument with her husband, and he ended up throwing her out of the house. And it was in the middle of monsoon season. And my mother had nowhere to go. And her only choice that night was to stay in a stable behind the house. And the rain was falling. It was cold. It was dirty and muddy. And so when my mother got into the stable, she said that the only thing that she could find that was dry and warm was a water buffalo. And so 9 months pregnant, my mother climbed on top of that water buffalo and she cried herself to sleep. And in Thailand, if you're unhappy with your marriage, you're stuck. You can't leave. You can't leave your husband, because if you do, you'll be shunned. You bring shame on yourself, you bring shame on your family. And so my mother's situation was pretty hopeless. Well, the next morning, my mother woke up, and just as she was waking up, along came a member of her family. It was her aunt. And her aunt looked at her. She looked at my mother, and she says to her, "What are you doing?" And my mother broke down, and she just lost it, and she started crying. And then she went into the house. She packed up all of her clothes, and she ran away. She ran back to her village. She ran back to her parents. And she went knowing that she was going to bring shame on herself. She left knowing that she was going to bring shame on her family. She left knowing that the baby that she was carrying in her belly was going to face an uncertain future. But she went back because she'd had enough. And so my mother ended up getting a job. She worked as a cleaning lady down at the air base, and she met my father. And my father fell in love with her. And when my father found out about her story of her leaving her husband, it made him fall in love with her even more, because my father knew right then and there that he had a woman with a backbone, a woman who could stand up on her own 2 feet and fight for herself. And so my dad married her, and he brought her to the United States, and they brought my sister over. And today my sister's happily married, and she's a self-made millionaire. And, you know, people believe that they're stuck in a comfort zone. And I don't think that that's true. People are not stuck in their comfort zone. People are stuck in an uncomfortable but convenient zone. And they stay that way all of their lives. They stay stuck in such a situation that causes them pain. But it's convenient for them to stay because they're afraid of what's on the other side. They're just afraid of change. But you need to take a look at yourself and ask yourself, when is my water buffalo moment coming? When do I pack up all of my things and move out of that uncomfortable but convenient zone and step in to happiness, step in to greatness? It's in you. It wants to come out. You just have to go get it.